Hi everyone, I'm Becky and welcome to another slow cooker recipe. So today we've got a little tip. You can buy these from any supermarket and they're really good. They're a liner that you put inside your slow cooker. So if you are making something very messy and you are working or you're doing something that day and you don't want to be cleaning up after yourself as well. So the liners stop everything getting your pot dirty. So basically you just lift out your dinner, tip it into wherever you want to pop it into, and then tie up the bag, chuck it in the bin. So they're really good and they're really cheap as well. We just thought we'd show you just a little thing that you could actually get to put in your slow cooker. So today I'm covering 3 different recipes. They're very much similar. So I'm going to put all 3 together just so I can show you different ideas of what you can actually put in there. Now, I haven't got all the ingredients because this is how we work in the community shop. So we've got a bag of cut up vegetables, which is actually made for a stew. But you can use this for any casseroles, any stews, anything like that. And you can get all your fresh veg and vegetables from out the shop, the community shop, which will help you out big time with prices and things like that, with money. I just thought I'd mention that. So these are really cheap in our shop today. But if you've got other veggies, then you can chop these up and put them in. As much veg as you can, I must state that, because the more veg you've got in it, the more it bulks it out. Another top tip of bulking out, if you put some butter beans in, and that bulks it out as well, and it helps the dish go much further, and it's much filling. So we've got some chicken thighs, we've got some streaky bacon. Now you can use lardons if you've got lardons. If you've only got normal bacon, use normal bacon. We've got some baby potatoes, we've got some baby mushrooms. We've got some tomato paste, some garlic paste. I've got some chicken stock. And I just want to tell you, if you haven't got fresh veg and you've only got tinned veg, this cannot sometimes happen. You can always use tinned veg. So it's not like it's a big issue. If you've only got tinned veg, then use tinned veg. We've got chicken broth. Now you can use any chicken soup. This just adds an extra depth of flavour. So if I do a beef stew, I like to put oxtail soup in my beef stew. Some people don't like it, I really like it, but it just gives it that extra depth and different flavours. So what we're going to do is going to take my lid off. This recipe is to be cooked for 7 to 8 hours. Now you can lightly fry off your chicken if you really wanted to give it a bit of a golden brown look, but this one I'm going to put in raw because the juices come out into the flavour of your gravy. So we're going to pop our chicken thighs just into the slow cooker. I'm just going to use 1 pack. So if you've got a big family and you want to use double up and do 2 packs, yeah, you can use frozen veg as well. If you haven't got fresh chicken, and they do that frozen chicken that you can get in like strips, if you pick that up from somewhere, you can always use that as well. So this is just a few tips that you can use, because majority of people know how to do a chicken casserole, but I just want to give them different ideas that what you can put in it. So we're going to get our bacon, streaky bacon. Now you can make this to a vegetarian casserole if you wanted to as well. So I've just rolled it up so this is easy to cut with. So I'm going to use a claw so you don't chop any of your fingers off. And we're just going to cut it nice and roughly into some chunks. So the bacon and the fat off the bacon will give it an extra flavour as well. So it's only what you've got in your cupboards, and it's about adapting different recipes. That's why I've managed to put 3 of them together, because they're very similar. And one of them is a chicken casserole. We've got a chicken French stew, and then we've got a butter bean and chicken stew. So quite a lot of the ingredients are quite the same. So, but they're just little bits of different bits that are a bit tweaked in it. So we're going to put our bacon into the chicken. Just going to get rid of that now. Wash my hands. So I've already mixed up some chicken stock here. We want enough in there. Now it says up to about 500 ml, I think it is, of chicken stock, but because you're going to leave it on all day, we want to make sure that it's covered. Now you can always thicken this dish up with gravy granules if it's a little bit too runny. So I've put my full jug in there, so that was 2 litres. Okay, so we've got a chicken broth, which I'm going to put that in. And we're going to put half a tin of butter beans in. Now it's up to you how many butter beans you'd like to put in, but I'm just going to put half a tin in. And like we say, we've already got our veg already chopped up here in a bag. We've got some lovely veg in here where it's got some leeks, some carrots, and we're just going to chop that, just going to open that up and pop that in there as well. I'm going to take a few mushrooms. These little baby button mushrooms. And we're just going to slice those up with a Gorilla Claw again. So fingers are out the way. So basically when you do a Gorilla Claw, you're using the knife and the blade, and that's your barrier so you don't cut off your finger, the tip of your fingers, and it acts as like a guard. So we're just going to slice down. I always mention about rough cutting because nothing has to be perfect, and people always seem to think and panic when they're cooking that everything's got to be cut perfectly. It doesn't have to be, so it can be as rustic as you want it to be.
It's just as nice.
It tastes just as nice. It doesn't matter how you've cut it. It's what's going in it that's the flavours. It's not how you've actually cut it. So we're just going to nicely cut these up. So you can cut these into squares if you wanted to cut them into squares. I'm just doing roughly like this, how's I am. So we're going to pop those into a slow cooker as well. As you can see, it's starting to nicely fill up here. Now, only for my preference, I don't like putting potatoes in my stews. I like to have mashed potato at the side, but some people do, so we're going to slice up some couple of baby potatoes. I'm just going to slice them for this effect. And as you can see, I'm not doing them too thick because if you're putting your slow cooker on for 7 to 8 hours, you want to make sure that them potatoes are nice and soft inside and they're not hard. So I'm just slicing them up to make sure that they're not hard if you come home from wherever you've been out for the day. So I'm just going to pop a few sliced potatoes in there. So we'll just put a little bit of garlic in there. And we're going to put a little bit of tomato paste. Just a good blob. And then I've got some thyme. Now not everybody's got fresh herbs. So if you've got dry herbs, it's just as good. So we're going to put a little bit of thyme in there. And it works really well with chicken thyme. And then we've got some mixed herbs. So it's just a jar of mixed herbs. We're going to sprinkle those in. I've got a bag of frozen peas, which I'm going to add in just for a bit of extra colour, and I'm going to mix it all together then. And then we're going to leave that on for 7 to 8 hours. I'm just going to mix it all together in there nicely. Oh, I have mixed one thing out, so we need to put a little bit of plain flour in. And what happens is the plain flour helps thicken up the stock in there. So when you come to the end of when it's actually cooked and you want to put a bit of gravy, I'm just going to get a spoon quickly. So we're just going to put 2 tablespoons of plain flour in there, and that thickens up the sauce. So it's going to give it a nice mix, and you can see all those lovely colours in there. So all the juices from the chicken thighs and the bacon and the stock that we've put in, and that will come out as a beautiful chicken casserole. So we're just going to pop the lid on. We're going to turn it up on a low setting. Now, I will mention this, so if you put it on for a low setting and you've been out all day for at least 7 to 8 hours, I know it's already cooked then, but if you put it on for an hour on high, that'll just make sure that it's up fully all the way cooked when you add your gravy and everything, just to make sure that everything's fully cooked in there. Just make sure as well when you go to, before you serve up, if you get a knife and a fork, pull open your chicken thigh or your chicken breast, and make sure that it's not pink inside. Hi guys, so I just thought I'd show you a quick little video of my chicken casserole that I've just dished up with all them beautiful veggies, and that's 7 to 8 hours cooking and just a little bit extra thickening up with gravy. Thanks for watching guys.